So tell me more about that 20-30% rate increases. Those sound like crazy numbers. So are you getting those in Florida because of hurricane, or what, like what's driving that price action?
We're getting those in every state. So it's really, it's really a countrywide issue. And the rate increases are indiscriminate. Claims, no claims. It's a rising tide that's lifting all boats. And there are certain, those states that I was mentioning before, where I was saying get on the homeowner's insurance early if you're buying a home. I mean, it's a real crisis. I mean, you've got people going up 100%, 150%. You've got a tremendous amount of non-renewals happening in those states. So people being forcibly displaced from their insurance company for no reason. What's driving
the price increase?
So that's a whole nother podcast in and of itself, but I'll try to be very succinct.
Okay.
So a lot of it has to do with, the unquestionable and undeniable increase in catastrophic weather events. And typically what got reported were the hurricanes. Back in, what was it, 92, Hurricane Andrew, the biggest biggest natural catastrophe in the United States. And that really was the focus. Where now pretty much all you hear about are California wildfires in the West. That wildfire that happened in Boulder like 2 or 3 years ago that took out like 1,100 homes, which is a huge event. It was $1 billion event, over $1 billion, which is a big loss event. That state, Colorado, wasn't even mapped for wildfire by a few of our carriers. And had there been 1/8 of an inch of snow on the ground, which there would have been, that wildfire would have never happened. So, a lot of the situation in the West has been drought specific. Because of the prolonged drought in the West has allowed for these increasing fires. The other complicating factor is you've had significant increases in population density in these types of areas. Okay. For example, Idaho. 5 years ago, only 5% of homes built in Idaho were considered wildfire exposed. Now 35% are. Montana is another great example where you had just this population explosion, which just basically puts, more dollars at risk. These fires have been happening for a long time, and so have these hurricanes. And then the third thing, and I'm gonna wrap this up, is the increase in convective storms. So these are wind, hail, tornado. And that's become such an issue here in the Midwest that many insurance companies are not writing new policyholders that have a wood shake roof. And that has to do with the propensity of damage associated with hail specific to wood shake roofs. So you've got, kind of these weather patterns, changing not only the carrier's appetite, but their whole approach to underwriting.